It has been 1 year since Donald Trump took office, and it has been, I think you'd agree, brutal in almost all ways. Masked, armed federal immigration officers looking like they're in the middle of a war zone in camouflage and long, while the president muses about sending in American soldiers and has his Department of Justice almost by the day go after local elected leaders. The economy is deteriorating, from unemployment to inflation to the tariffs Donald Trump has levied unilaterally.
Court just told Trump he didn't have to pay $500 million, but also stamped him as a fraud under the law. Both things can be true. We'll show how his daily interest tab, over $110,000, turned his desk into a money shredder, why real estate riches don't equal cash, and how dropping the bond to $175 million bought time, not innocence. If you've wondered how an alleged mogul nearly needed a yard sale, this breakdown flips the myth of infinite money into a very expensive reality check. If your desk burned a luxury car every 24 hours, how fast would you start selling golf carts? That's the vibe on Grumpy Trumpy's ledger right now. The civil fraud tab didn't show up like a normal bill. It landed like a meteor. The principal sat near $364 million, then interest swelled at close to $500 million. That's not a number you shrug off. That's a number that parks itself on your desk and dares you to blink. Donnie Diaper says billionaire, the court says pay up, and the clock says cha-ching. Again, here's the grind. New York tags civil judgments with statutory interest. It doesn't nap, it racks up daily. Delay isn't strategy, it's gasoline on a fire. Every sunrise adds more to the pile, and none of that drip cuts the base amount. You can stall, you can post on Truth Social, but the meter doesn't care about caps lock. Over $110,000 a day means in 7 days you've vaporized the price of a supercar. Let a month slide and you've torched a small hotel wing, still staring at the same principal. That's a money shredder, not a payment plan. Now layer the wallet reality. Estimates put his liquid stash in a rough band of $400 to $700 million. Sounds huge until the bill wants near $500 million. Cash is the oxygen. Towers and golf greens look rich in brochures, but they don't tap like a debit card. You need time, buyers, lawyers, and a stomach for discounts. Stress sales bring vultures. The faster you need out, the lower the offers go. Lenders clock distress and back up a step. Even the orange turd knows a for sale sign at the wrong moment screams weakness. That's where the appeal bond turns into the only umbrella in a storm. No bond? The state can move. Liens drop, accounts freeze, and marshals ask for signatures you don't want to give. A bond stalls the hammer. It tells the court, fine, hold the collection trucks while we argue upstairs. But surety companies don't hand out billionaires-only coupons. They want collateral they can touch, cash or easy securities. A golf course isn't their idea of liquid. They see risk, they price risk, or they pass. So why did the number slip from around $500 million to $175 million? Mercy doesn't have a line item. Think math and mechanics. Underwriting a $500 million bond for a guy with a fresh fraud finding is like convincing a cat to drive a bus. The market for that paper isn't deep. The terms would be brutal, and the collateral would eat his oxygen. The court cut it down, which made the math survivable for a short stretch. That's time on the clock, not a trophy on the wall. Let's be clear, the fraud finding didn't vanish. It rides along on every email to a lender, every pitch to a partner, every renewal with an insurer. The bond reduction just kept the state from kicking in doors while the appeal moves. It's a pause button, not a delete key. And while the pause holds, the daily interest still nibbles anything not covered by the bond. That's the silent tax for delay. So yeah, he dodged the instant fire sale. No helicopters hauling off couches today, but the math still bites, and the brand now has a legal stamp that follows him into every room with a calculator. Time bought. Now let's open the wallet and count what's actually spendable. Not just shiny on brochures. If you're a billionaire, why are you haggling your way down to $175 million like it's a used car lot? If the money is real, you peel it off and move on. When you start dickering, it sounds less like mogul energy and more like, can I throw in floor mats and call it even? That's where Grumpy Trumpy landed. The bond dropped, sure, but the rate he chased tells you the most important number isn't the one on TV, it's the one he can actually wire today. Here's the split. Brand name net worth is a loud billboard. Cash is the little drawer under the counter. Buildings look rich, golf clubs look fancy, and logos look shiny, but none of that swipes at a checkout terminal. A tower can be worth a fortune and still be a brick when you need quick money. Real estate is great at storing wealth. It's terrible at paying a surprise bill on Monday. Now add the sticker that won't peel off. Banks and insurers got one glowing set of numbers. A court said those numbers were pumped up. That stain doesn't wash out in an appeal rinse cycle. You walk into a lender meeting with fraud on the file. They don't ask about the view from the penthouse. They ask where the cash is and who's first in line if the music stops. That's the tension. The story he sold and the standard the court applied now sit on opposite ends of the table. Let's talk liquidity tiers in plain English. Top shelf is cash and treasuries, clean, fast, no drama. Middle shelf is public stocks and funds, still liquid, but prices can wobble. Bottom shelf is the heavy stuff, buildings, golf courses, private stakes, licensing deals. Turning those into dollars comes with a speed discount. The faster you need out, the more you bleed. That's not Wall Street magic. It's how buyers punish a seller in a rush. Cue the gold toilet joke. Funny until it isn't. A fire sale doesn't just cut the price of the toilet, it flushes the message that you're desperate. Lenders see that and start tightening terms, or they back away. One forced sale invites the next. It's the kind of spiral that turns a big portfolio into a yard sale with velvet ropes. Surety companies don't care about the aura. They care about collateral they can grab without a court brawl. Cash is king. Treasuries are prince. Illiquid property is a headache with taxes, appraisals, and lawyers in tow. If you show up with a golf course as collateral, they see weather risk, membership churn, and lawsuits. They don't see a simple guarantee. That's why the bond became a scavenger hunt. So what goes first if he has to move? Minority stakes are the usual starter. Sell a slice you don't control anyway. Non-core properties are next. Anything off-brand or underperforming that can be pried loose without blowing up the flagship. Then come income streams. Licensing checks and fees you can pledge or sell forward. None of it feels good, but it hurts less than hawking the crown jewels. Did he stare down bankruptcy papers or just a pricey timeout? The scramble suggests both feelings visited. Without relief, he likely would have slapped liens on assets, stacked new loans on old ones, or unloaded pieces at a discount. The appeals break cut the bill he needed to secure, but the fraud tag didn't vanish with it. That label now sits in every negotiation like an unwelcome cosigner, raising rates and lowering trust. So yes, he dodged a same-week liquidation. The cost was still steep. Cash tied up, options narrowed, and lenders newly skeptical. With the bond drama past, how close did Donnie Diapers get to the B word? Bankruptcy.